All right, folks, Mark Emery here with the World Mission Church. You know, there's a lot of talk, a lot of folks getting active in recognizing how important it is to break away from being a corporate state citizen slave and reestablishing yourself as a natural man or woman upon the land. And there's a lot of validity to that. However, I'm here to tell you that that is only one step in the direction that you need to go. That's not the end all and be all. That's the first step to obtaining your diplomatic credentials. If you want true power and authority that's actually recognized, then we need to go to the next step, and that's what I'm going to talk about right now. Okay, we're talking about obtaining your diplomatic credentials from the kingdom of heaven, which is the jurisdiction separate and apart from all nation states, recognized by international treaty, constitutions, case law, statutory law, and congressional resolutions. Okay? There is no question about the authority and the separateness of the kingdom of heaven from the nation corporate state. All right? And we're doing so as the World Mission Church Embassy Outpost, one of many embassies around the world that we can establish to move forward in what we need to be doing as true Christians in taking dominion over this earth and spreading the good news. Okay? That's all we need to do. We're here to spread good news for everybody. Everybody needs the good news that we have as diplomats. All right? So let's look at this. First of all, the steps that I'm going to outline are very practical and doable steps, and this is your action plan, okay? To achieve this status, diplomatic status, you've got to have a firm commitment and the right mindset. We all know that mindset is everything. The mindset of success in business versus failure is that if obstacles are presented to us, we have to find a way around, under, over those obstacles. We need to remove those obstacles. We need to find a way to deal with those obstacles. Then we can move on to the next step towards success. The mindset of failure that many people have is, well, I got too many obstacles. I can't achieve the objective, and then the obstacle becomes the excuse. So you can see the difference in mindset and how important mindset is to achieving your goals. All right, you've got to have the right mindset or you're not going to achieve your goals. All right, so we start off, go to worldmissions.world, and you need to study all aspects of the web page. There's a number of pages on there presenting to you truth in Scripture, truth in separating ourselves in an ecclesia. So many articles relating to coming out of Babylon and what that really means. Interpretations of Romans 13, for example. Important information. So you need to spend some time on worldmissions.world, not just skim through it, but to look at the articles, look at the information, absorb the truth, contemplate it, meditate on it, pray on it, and internalize it. Okay? This is the foundational knowledge and understanding that we all must have in order to operate successfully as a diplomat. All right? One of those pages you'll find under About Us is our creed. This is our statement of faith. In essence, this is our Constitution. This is the basis of law that we operate with. Okay? So you need to come into full agreement and internalize this creed, or this is not going to be for you. Okay? If you can't accept what's on here, then this is not something for you. Okay? So we all have to be of like mind with a common commitment to our statement of faith and belief, and the law that we operate under. Okay? Then there's an article on Romans 13 which gets into the full meaning and correct interpretation of Romans 13. Oftentimes, if you're dealing with a minion of the state who knows that you're a Christian, they will use this in an incorrect fashion and try and convince you that you are subject to the state. And Romans 13 in part says you must submit yourself to the governing authorities. All right? And that will be used against you in an incomplete fashion without the caveats that you will find in the rest of that scripture. They don't mention the caveats, all right? And so you need to read this to understand the full interpretation, the full meaning of Romans 13 is exactly opposite of what they would have you believe when they use that against you, using only part of it. In fact, many churches are guilty of this. Many pastors are guilty of misinterpreting this and then applying it improperly and leading their sheep down the wrong path with falsehoods and untruths. All right? And then, of course, Revelations 18:4 is an important precept upon which that we're doing just about everything here, and this is essentially to come out of her, my people. Do not participate in her sins so as not to share in her plagues. All right? And so these are just two of many important precepts that we operate under, but these need to be internalized and fully understood to really grasp what we're trying to accomplish here. All right? So with this in mind and all the information and truth that's on this webpage, all right, pray for guidance, meditate on it, internalize it, and see if you can get guidance and confirmation on these things, because this is the foundation that must be laid. If for any reason you have a spirit of discord with any of this, then you either need to resolve that or go on a different path. Okay? So, as an action plan, we need you on the mailing list. It's at the bottom of the home page. You'll see a box that says opt in. Get on the mailing list for announcements, meetings, information that's important for members to have. We have a membership form. You will find this on our join page. If you go through the website, you will find that. And then we also have a volunteer form, which is separate from the membership form. Okay? As we build this ecclesia, as we build the embassy, we have needs for help in a lot of areas, all right? And we need your help. So we need our members to be pitching in some way, shape, or form. Some of you have specialized skills that we can use in certain departments. Some of you simply have some time on your hands that you can help organize or contact members or provide support assistance to department heads. There's a place for everybody, okay? And then we need support. Financial support obviously is important, and a lot of folks are not in a position to offer financial support. Well, then we can use your support in other areas. You can help us in a variety of areas. We're using the Live Pure Coffee program as a fundraising program. And you can find out all about that on the website listed here, but it's a no-brainer, all right? And almost everyone drinks coffee. We can offer coffee to heathens. They don't need to be members, all right? And they can end up supporting the church by simply upgrading their coffee experience, and you'll find out all about that on the website listed here. Okay, but that's a no-brainer, something everybody can do, anybody can do, and it's just simple and something that is common for most of us. So that's kind of our baseline support program right there. All right, and we'll get into other things as well, but that's just our common baseline. So go investigate that and support us. order some coffee with cordyceps. It's got health benefits in addition to a smooth, robust, non-acidic flavor. You're going to love it. So do that, and just that alone, by drinking coffee, you can help support the church. All right, lots of information on that website. Go there, find out more. Okay? Now, we start off with identification. This is identification from the church, where you are established as a private ministerial ambassador. All right? For World Mission Church and Ecclesiastical Assembly, we'll use that term instead of society, being more common law. And the information that we put on this indicates quite clearly that it's not going to match up with state databases. All right? We have our own database. We have our own methods of identifying our members, and this is an important element of simply being apart from the corporate state. Okay? Our data points don't match up with their data points. Okay? So they're not going to find us in their database systems. So that's important, and I don't think I need to explain that a whole lot. All right, but we'll have special training on this, how we go about this. And at the time of this recording, we are looking for someone to head up this division, someone who might have graphic art skills. We have an app where this is already laid out as a template, and we'll need to have someone working with us to help administer these IDs as we go along. All right, so that's one area that some people can help out. But this is a first point of identification. You can get this almost right away. All right. Then we have diplomatic passports. All right, there will be special training for this in terms of how you handle yourself whenever challenged as you present your diplomatic passport. Okay, your Kingdom of Heaven passport. It identifies you as being a member of the Kingdom of Heaven, separate and apart from the nation states of the world, the corporate national states. And as you might imagine, some people will recognize it right off the bat, as they have already in certain countries. Not a question asked. Others will be more stringent, might pull you aside and ask you some questions. All right, so this is where the training is going to come into play as to how you handle yourself and how you establish your authority as a legitimate diplomat for the Kingdom of Heaven. All right, traveling on the passport. So this is a separate training activity for a separate document that our members, our diplomats, will have. All right. Well, you'll also have an appointment document. All right. This is a little bit more extensive in terms of putting out a notice of appointment from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. All right, from our embassy. All right, and this is going to be a simple notice establishing your credentials, the lawful basis for it, and points of reference that anyone viewing this document might want to look up to verify the authenticity of it. Okay, so you'll have this, which you can also basically put in a plastic encasement. This can be posted on your front porch or your front door. We're also going to have signage establishing the property that you live on as embassy property. All right. So these are for public notice as to what your legal standing is and what your authority is as an ambassador for the embassy. Okay. Now, this is a notice of international diplomatic protocol that will be issued from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And this is a little bit more extensive in terms of being a legal memorandum recognizing and advising the reader of the international treaties constitutions and legal basis for your appointment. Okay? So your appointment document is a more simple statement, whereas this diplomatic protocol might be something that you'd carry with you as you travel internationally and anyone has any questions about your passport. All right? A legal memorandum recognizing international law, and this basically establish the points of law necessary for anyone who has questions to understand where you're coming from and how you should be dealt with. Okay? Pretty simple. So, that being the case, documentation will be substantial, will be authentic, will be official, and it will all be verifiable via independent online access that anyone that has questions might be able to verify and take it with them for their own personal purposes. All right, then there will be future activity. There are already in existence alternatives for vehicle registration, vehicle plates. There's processes for converting real estate, which is taxed and recorded in the county records, to converting that into private property, private church property, and taking it out of the taxation system. All right? There's a process for renouncing adhesion contracts. All right? These are contracts that you've signed with the state. For example, tax forms where you may have made false admissions and confessions as to what your legal status might be. Those need to be corrected and basically renounced, okay, including your licenses. All right? You don't need a license from the state when you already have authority from the Lord. Okay? And operating under the auspices of the Embassy of Heaven, Kingdom of Heaven. Okay? We have alternatives to replace insurance contracts. All right? You know about the legal status corrections. And then, of course, we need to create economic independence so that you're not bound by all of the contracts and statements that you've made in gaining your corporate employment. If you work for a company or the government, you've had to make certain admissions and confessions. That's part of your adhesion contracts. And as long as you have those, it's going to be hard for you to really claim that you're not one of them. Okay, so these are all things that we have replacements for, and we'll be working on to help you come out of Babylon and have the immunity and exemption of being a diplomat with full authority. So, those are some of the things you can look forward to. I would encourage you to join us. Let's go back to this page. Get on our mailing list, fill out the membership form, fill out the volunteer form, and support us. And all things will flow from that point on. All right? That's all for now. Take care. God bless, and we'll see you on the next training video as we establish your diplomatic status. Bye for now.